Stave off the autumn chills with a warming new package of titles from CBS FOX. From light comedy with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John to heavy, heavy metal with Ozzy Osbourne. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John are a pair of greedy lovers who struggle to outdo each other in two of a kind. When Debbie puts her fingers in the till,
in this case with 15,000 sackaroos.
Debbie Wilder, an aspiring actress who stayed with Warren Robertson.
Zach puts the squeeze on Debbie.
How much is left?
$3,000.
How much?
What are you doing?
How much?
I told you 3,000.
How much?
All right, 5,000.
5,000. I don't believe it.
Okay, 8,600. 8,600. That's all there is. I swear.
8,600. Get it.
Is the story behind the stupendous talent that brought the world to its feet in the 1976 Olympics, and of the quality beyond talent that makes a true champion.
You think it's possible for a little girl to fly? No one has ever worked as hard as I'm going to work you.
33.
One.
Good, Nadia. 34.
42.
Total commitment, total concentration. Don't take up my time and quit.
I'll never quit. I shall work.
You do. And you will be the best in the world.
With single-minded drive and the support of a dedicated coach, Nadia pushed relentlessly towards the peak of success. Millions saw it. What they didn't see was the little girl's fight to grow up under the spotlight. By the age of 16, depression and compulsive eating had driven her to attempt suicide, and it was then that the real champion was born.
In the history of the modern Olympic Games, a perfect 10.
How Nadia fought her way back to success as a gymnast and found her way forward as a woman tells us something both exhilarating and unforgettable about the winning spirit. Al used to race cars for a living. Now he smashes them, and it's breaking him and his family apart.
Hey, look at your hands. Just look at them. Well, I don't want to.
His wife wants out of the junkyard, and she's found a way.
Why Ray?
Because...
Anybody else, but why Ray? I mean, he's my best bloody friend.
Because he talks to me. He cares how I feel.
Yeah.
You don't even talk to me anymore.
What about? What the hell there is there to talk about?
That's right.
All
There's
you ever
nothing
talk
to
about is your bloody... your past. Remember, Georgie's still my kid, and I'm taking her to Bay Park on the weekend.
But her way isn't Al's way.
Grab Teddy and get in the truck.
You better do as your father says.
I don't want to go.
Get into the truck.
What are you doing, Al?
None of this would have happened if you hadn't moved in with Jackie. As I see it, Georgie would be a hell of a lot better off without both of us around.
Having lost his wife, his child, his best friend, and his racing career, Al loses his mind as well, and his desperate measures to get his family back make Smash Palace a tense and gripping drama. The Countess Elizabeth Báthory arrives at a lonely and grand hotel, deserted for the winter.
I was telling Valerie about the history of our family, the Báthorys. Even though the Countess was buried over 300 years ago.
Imagine, she bled 300 virgins to death.
A woman will do anything to stay young.
The only other guests are a young couple on honeymoon.
Their veins with rusty nails. Slit their throats.
Stop it!
It was a choice they would soon regret.
So that there her white bodies pumped out young blood over her naked skin.
Stop it!
Daughters of Darkness, a chilling masterpiece of the occult. In Playing with Fire, a young man is seduced by a beautiful older woman who gradually draws him into a labyrinth of mystery and terror.
What do you do when the only sound is the beat of your heart?
Tell your husband, that asshole, to get off my case or I'm going straight to the cops.
Where do you go?
He is dazzled by the erotic intensity of their unexpected affair, but he is also increasingly frightened.
But the feeling's so strong.
We didn't want them to be killed.
And you know you shouldn't stay.
Death and sex are a potent combination.
Come on out, Barney.
Oh, you're playing with fire.
Oh my God. The patient could become violent. Paranoia is common.
Whatever her motives for bewitching him, whatever his desire to escape, murder and madness bind them together as they move closer and closer to the horrifying truth. In One Blow Too Many, James Cagney is unforgettable as a tough old boxer who meets his match in his long-lost granddaughter.
What'd you come here for? What do you want?
I'm the direct descendant of a long line of broken marriages, starting with you.
I guess I was wrong. So did you talk to your grandfather?
The boy she loves is in deep trouble, and what she wants is the money to get him out of it.
Listen, Ronnie.
What?
If you're gonna do this thing, you gotta do it soon, man.
I know.
These guys aren't kidding.
I know. I think I just have to wait for the right moment.
But the right moment gets harder to find as she learns to love her grandfather.
2 days ago, I had no flesh and blood that I could call my own. Now I got one. You got no love for him.
What do you know?
What'd you come here for? What do you want?
Papa.
He thought it was money that mattered. She thought it was money she needed. But in the course of this moving drama, they both discover they're wrong. Robin Wallace is an out-of-work actress who is dying for a part. This is exactly what has been planned for her.
What is the part that you're casting? Didn't anyone tell you? It's the lead in a feature film. You're kidding. And if you want the part, Robin, it's yours. Does the name Elizabeth Russell mean anything to you? It started out as a simple robbery and ended in murder. They said Elizabeth was dead.
They've been telling you nothing but lies.
Beechwood Psychiatric Institute. May I help you?
Jessica Brenner, one moment, please. How did you know she'd be there?
Yes, this is Dr. Brenner speaking.
And that's the part you'd like me to play?
I am not crazy! I don't belong in here! Damn it! Get me out of here!
Robin Wallace never dreamed her greatest performance would be to save her own life. Valley Girl stars cult hero Nicolas Cage as Randy, a street kid from Hollywood who falls in love with Julie, a rich kid from the Valley.
Hello. Who invited you?
Oh, wow, you mean you have to be invited? Well, that explains it.
What?
Well, everyone is dressed for it. See, if I had been invited, I would have known this was a costume party.
Julie wouldn't be seen dead with a boy like Randy.
So when can I see you again?
I'm here with you now.
I know.
So her friends can't understand why she sees him quite a lot.
Like, don't you have parties over there? Oh, where? At the zoo?
This geek that she's with could scar her for life.
God, life.
Yesterday I met a guy, kind of thing about the night. He said, come on, let's take a ride, and I said, okay, yeah. They got a word for girls like
Valley Girl, a great movie with a great soundtrack. Not to be missed. And now, here's something all those heavy metal fans have been waiting for. Molotov Cocktail with 2 heavy new videos.